Hey yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are picking back up from the first issue of the Energon Universe from Skybound, and this issue did not let up at all. We still get some very juicy action. So where this picks up is we see Optimus during the daytime as he walks out and admires how beautiful Earth is. And I mean, he ain't wrong, because dang, man, this planet really is beautiful. Anyways, Optimus is enjoying how beautiful nature is, but when we see a loud crunch and it turns out that he stepped on and killed a deer. I mean, he just straight up just stomped on it. Like, we see Optimus is very upset because, I mean, it's Optimus. It's not like he just stepped on it and was just going to be like, oh, anyways, nature is beautiful. But yeah, Spike comes in and tells Optimus how it was an accident and how he saw the whole thing happen. And Optimus brings up how Earth is very different to Cybertron, as one is very dense and metal, and for Optimus, the ground doesn't shake when he walks on Cybertron, or leaves prints like Earth does for him. And Spike never really thought of it like that, considering, well, Spike has only been on Earth. And then we see Spike and Optimus keep talking more about Cybertron, and Spike asked Optimus how he got his name, which, by the way, he explains some juicy details on Cybertron and how the primes work. So Optimus explains how the prime part of his name is passed down from previous leaders and how he is at the top of the Autobot hierarchy, which we know by now is how it genuinely works for primes being the main leader of the Autobots when it comes to, you know, the Transformers mythos and how that works. So it is just cool to see that the Skybound comics are pulling from that and having, you know, Prime still be top dog of the Autobot hierarchy. And what's funny about Spike asking Optimus how he got his name, Optimus also asked Spike how he got his name, and Spike is just like, well, when I was little my hair was sick up and my mom would call me Spiky. So yeah, there you go. That's how Spike got his name. And Optimus just simply replies with, what is mom? Which is honestly really adorable for Optimus to say that. Spike then explains how family is, and Optimus explains how he is also familiar with the concept of family, and Spike asked Optimus where he is from and how he got here on Earth. And boy oh boy, we get some more juicy Cybertron lore. Okay, so Optimus tells Spike that he is from the planet Cybertron, which is a beautiful planet on its own, harsh way, and how it was like that for only millennia, and how before his spark came into being there was peace, which, by the way, I find really interesting how peace on Cybertron was a thing before Optimus came into play. Maybe this means he was Orion Pax, there was peace on Cybertron and he just means like when he was reborn as Optimus. Or perhaps there was just war going on when Optimus was around, even before he was a prime. Anyways, Optimus tells Spike how his species, the Cybertronians, were consumed by greed and power, and implies that maybe that greed and power was always there since the birth of Cybertron. But Optimus disagrees with that point and says that it just came out of nowhere with the greed and power from the faction called the Decepticons. Which, I mean, we're all familiar by now who the Decepticons are and what their motives are. And Spike asks Optimus, one of the Decepticons was the big red and gray one. And Optimus responds with how Starscream is one of the many that the Autobots have been fighting for centuries, and says, among others. And dude, we see Megatron right there looking ominous as hell, bro, which is so freaking cool to tease Megatron like that. Oh man, it really does get me excited for the special issue, what seems to be a prequel of probably what went on in the arc between Optimus and Megatron. Optimus then continues to talk about how due to the war they lost a lot of Autobots, and it got so bad to the point that they had to leave Cybertron to find a new way to retake Cybertron, which is very on point for the Transformers mythos for the most part when it comes to the beginning of the story as to how they ended up on Earth. We see Optimus explain how when they were in space, the Decepticons purged their arc, and then we see this awesome fight between Optimus and Megatron, which is so freaking cool, man. See these two duke it out like this. It's so cool to see these two duke it out, especially in this art style. But Optimus brings up how the last thing he saw was Earth right before the arc crashed, entering its atmosphere. Spike replies with how they crashed into the mountain. That's where Spike and Carly found them, and Optimus brings up how if it wasn't for Spike and Carly, they wouldn't have been able to escape, which, you know, I agree. Maybe, you know, good old-fashioned, the touch starts playing and Optimus starts to go ham on the Decepticons, you know, maybe could have clutched up for everyone without Spike and Carly, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, Spike tells Optimus how he is sorry about Bumblebee and what happened to him, and Optimus just replies with the word family. And then what we see on the next page is, boom, Cliffjumper, who I gotta say, it's really nice to see again. I mean, like, I'm only on issue 2 right now, but I hope this guy doesn't die right away, because that seems to be the current trend with Cliffjumper, who just appears and is awesome and then dies. So I really hope that this isn't the case here. But we see Cliffjumper and Optimus just straight up dap each other up and talk how nice it is to see each other again. And then we see Cliffjumper freak out because he sees Spike, and Spike also freaks out because, well, he sees Cliffjumper. So we see Spike reach out his hand to shake hands, and Cliffjumper backs up and says, "We are not there yet, my man," which is really funny to see Cliffjumper react like this. But we didn't see Carly, who comes to meet Cliffjumper as well, and Cliffjumper also freaks out and is like, "How many of you are there?" Which is very funny that Cliffjumper is reacting like this. Like, I'm glad we're seeing another Autobot who is a little bit more, funny with it, a little bit more like, quippy. So it's just nice seeing Cliffjumper react like this. And then we see Carly throw a rock at Cliffjumper and calls Cliffjumper out, basically saying how it's also crazy and new for Spike and her to see metal robots walking around talking, which, I mean, honestly, is a very good point. And Cliffjumper sees it that way as well, as they shake hands and reintroduce each other, which I find really funny that this whole interaction between these two even happens at all. So I don't know. There's something about when it comes to like other Transformers meeting the humans, and it's just like very awkward. It's just very funny to me. We then pick back up at the quarry as sort of their headquarters for now, as we saw the quarry in the last issue, as that's where they ended up going to escape from Starscream and Skywarp. So this is just kind of like their headquarters now. And we see Ratchet mention to Optimus how when Jetfire scanned and gave everyone new modes, he also made sure to keep intact their Cybertronian technology, meaning Optimus's trailer is still able to be a repair bay, and using leftover metal in the quarry, slowly one by one, they are starting to come back online. Which is really cool that they are using Optimus's trailer like this, as this is a callback to Optimus's G1 toy that had the little repair bay with his trailer, and we see the little roller in there as well, which is just really cool that they're doing that and giving it its purpose again. We then see Ratchet go on to explain how they used all their Energon to fix Cliffjumper, and how they are all out, and Spike and Carly ask, what is Energon? And if it's like food for them, and Ratchet answers saying it's exactly how that works, and that's what keeps them alive, and how they need a massive amount to bring the rest of the Autobots back online. We see once again Optimus offer to use his Matrix to bring back online the remaining Autobots, and Ratchet brings up how the power of the Matrix is linked with Optimus' spark and that the risk would be too high. Cliffjumper also mentions that if they're running low on Energon, so then is the Decepticons. And next page we are picking up the destruction that Starscream left behind at the power plant, and where we saw Starscream kill Davey right in front of Sparkplug's eyes. We see a cop is basically just trying to understand the situation, just writing everything down, trying to gather what happened. And we have this one guy tell the cop how it was a giant robot that came and destroyed the place, and the cop doesn't really believe him at first. And then we see Sparkplug speak up and say how the guy isn't lying, and that the robot did come here and was saying, look what they did to Davey, and that's how, Davey died. And the cop says, all right, well, we'll get some detectives over here. And Sparkplug, rightfully so, tells the cop that, no, man, we need to send the army here, no detectives. Forget protocol. We need the freaking army. As the cop starts to, tell Sparkplug, that's not really how that works. And then Sparkplug goes back and forth with that. Before any of those sentences get finished, we see Skywarp and the other Decepticons enter the scene again. And they're back at the power plant to siphon more energy and turn into Energon by using an energy converter that was in the Ark. And as they are using the energy converter, the cops are shooting at them thinking, their bullets are going to work. And as their bullets aren't really doing anything, shocker. I mean, what would you really expect? And as the cop gets closer, we see Starscream just straight up just stomps on the cop, like right in front of Sparkplug's face. This poor guy just can't catch a break. But once we see the energy converter they get from the Ark is done, we see that the Decepticons are fueling back up on Energon. And on these next couple pages here, man, oh man, things get hyped. Okay, so we see a fighter jet, and these pilots are just talking as they are on their way back to the base. And they suddenly pick up something from the radio. They go and check it out, and as they are talking about that, going to check out what's going on with the radio, Soundwave then picks up this communication and that they are sending countermeasures, and Starscream gets excited and starts to go as he says, oh, the squishes are trying to fight? I have to see this. And then we start to see this fighter jet with these pilots versus Starscream. And man, oh man, these things get really freaking cool here. So as these two jets, sort of start to duke it out with Starscream and these two pilots, these two start to go at it, but not very long, as Starscream does take the upper hand. And I mean, I would hope so. This is Starscream we're talking about. And once the fighter jet was able to get behind Starscream, as they had a shot directly locked onto Starscream, right when they were about to take it, Starscream transforms and just knocks the jet back and laughs, saying this is fun, which is honestly such a dick move by Starscream. But as the jet is starting to spiral out, we see Frosting the pilot, who's, the main pilot of the jet, start to pull the eject, and they end up getting off. But unfortunately for Frosting, he wasn't able to escape, as while he was ejecting into the sky, Starscream catches him and just says hi before completely squishing him to death. which, oh my god, Starscream is just a walking war crime machine. But as the other pilot sees his partner get squished and screams, Starscream goes to this other pilot, and this pilot, shall we say, starts to clutch up as he turns his parachute into a jetpack, loads up his pistol as he completely dodges Starscream's punch, and then gets on top of him with an angle and just lays the biggest FU shot to Starscream's eye. And because Starscream got styled like that and can't see, he retreats like a little baby, and we see Starscream retreat and say, whatever, stupid humans, you'll all be dead eventually. And we see on the name tag of this pilot that made that shot was in fact Duke. And bam, I did not expect that type of crossover for G.I. Joe, man. That was awesome and very subtle. And now this makes me want to read Duke now, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, as we go back again to the power plant, we see Spike's dad. Sparkplug starts to get in the police car as Skywarp starts to hunt him down and starts to mock him. And as all that's going down, we see Soundwave warn Skywarp to look out, as right behind him we see a jet lay down an airstrike right on Skywarp and Soundwave. And I just love Skywarp's reaction is just, oh, because I mean, how else are you going to react to something like that? We then shift back to the quarry as the Autobots and Spike and Carly see the explosion from the power plant, wondering where the explosion was coming from. And Spike and Carly put it together pretty quickly that it is in fact the power plant, and Cliffjumper points out that it is as well Decepticons who blew up the power plant. And as Spike starts to worry, we see Optimus Prime get ready to go in and stop Decepticons, as he tells Spike the Decepticons will not waste any time and they will take all energy to make Energon anywhere they can get it and do it by force. Ratchet warns Optimus that they need Energon more than fighting the Decepticons, and Optimus replies with, we have no choice, and I brought our war to this beautiful place. Even if by accident, it is my duty to now defend it. Which, by the way, what a hard line for Optimus to say right there. But as Optimus gets ready to go by himself, he tells Cliffjumper to stay with Ratchet and protect the offline Autobots, and Spike tells Optimus he needs to go with him so he can see his dad and make sure he's okay. Optimus denies this, but Spike says family, and Optimus agrees to take Spike. As they get ready to go on the next page, we see Carly drive back to her house because she also wants to go see her family, and then we see Laserbeak scan Carly's van from when we saw earlier, showing off they're using the leftover metal from the quarry and stuff. So Laserbeak scans that, and we pick up on Sparkplug going to this house, opens up a case. Then we see Carly walk into her house asking where her dad is, and Sparkplug grabs her, and as Carly's freaking out asking where Spike and where's her dad, Sparkplug responds with how they killed Davey, that they killed your dad. And boom, what a way to end issue 2. I honestly did not expect Davey to be Carly's dad, and now his death has even more meaning now. And I really love that Duke cameo, man. I usually don't like G.I. Joe crossovers in, you know, the Transformers universe, but honestly, I gotta say, it was done really well there. But this just leaves me more excited to read issue 3 and cover it here on the channel. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I can't wait to cover issue 3, but I'm gonna call it here. So make sure you guys be on the lookout for issue 3 here on the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one, alright? Take care.